I should have put some lotion on my hands. They ashy, Jam.
Do I have lotion?
I do, but it's okay. We got 1 hour. How we cooking? Good looking?
We are cooking well, not it.
All right. Let me do this intro that I don't know what I'm doing. All right. And action. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Nandi. If you do know me, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, as you see, I have a special guest.
Shania.
So I have my friend, my sis, because she's more than a friend, okay? I have my sister here. And we are filming a video for you guys. We are filming an MD versus NP panel video, okay? And obviously I'm the NP and we have our wonderful
MD.
Okay, so pretty much we have questions prepared. I asked you guys to give us some questions on YouTube as well as on my Instagram. So we're gonna be answering a few questions for you guys. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a very informative video. As you know, we keep it honest, we keep it 100 over here. So we're gonna be very honest when we answer these questions. And then I will have my sis's Instagram down in the description down below. So feel free to follow her as well. But let's go ahead and jump into this video. I feel like this can be just like a conversation though, to
Honestly.
be honest. Yeah, really, truly, because we like this anyway. It's gonna sound like a conversation,
Facts.
even if it's like questions we're answering, okay? All right, so our first question that we have is, what was your path to becoming an MDNP? So going through undergrad, entrance exams, med school years, residency, BSN years, all of that good stuff, okay? So I guess we'll let you start, because you're the guest.
Guess first?
Yes.
Okay, child. This is at our channel, so I'm just following the rules. So we went to the same college, went to Agnes Scott. So that was 4 years. And then I actually got my master's in science. So I did biomedical science for another 2 years. And then I went to medical school, which is 4 years. And then when you go to residency, that can usually be 3 to 5 years, depending on your specialty. And then even after the specialty, you can do fellowship for maybe another 3 years. So that's that so far. So I'm so far finished my medical school years, and now I'm ready to apply for residency. And I'm taking my boards to do so. So that's where I'm at right now.
Period.
Yes.
Okay. And then did you say MCAT? You took MCAT?
Yes,
How many times? MCAT.
I took the MCAT twice.
MCAT twice.
Or no, 3 times. I think I took the MCAT 3 times. One as a trial. Never do that. It always follows you. I was a guinea pig for going to doing the whole process in the States. So I have a lot of MDs in the family, but they all were, from Nigeria. I'm Nigerian. Woo woo, green, white, green. But yes, so that was my whole, let me take the MCAT, see how that went. You just do your own practice at home. Please do not do that, because it follows you everywhere. And then after that, I took it twice. And then after I went to St. George's University. I went to a Caribbean medical school, so that's international. So yeah, that's my whole spiel. Graduated this year, so.
Okay, and they saw it. Look, if you're a real one, you saw it on the channel, because we filmed that graduation. I don't care if it was on the computer.
Literally.
We filmed it, so we got it. Okay, great. Okay, and then for me, like she said, we went to the same college. So I went to Agnes Scott College as well. What was my major? I was a public health major, biology minor. And then I did those 4 years. And then Agnes Scott at the time had a 5th-year program where they would allow recent graduates to come back and take extra classes for free. Now, I do think they stopped that, though. They cut the 5th-year program.
Oh, yeah,
I think
they made
did.
the graduate program instead.
So that's no longer.
To pay. I'm so sorry.
So that is no longer. So I did the 5th year. I took some classes I repeated, some classes, a bunch of science classes and prereqs. I just tried to take as many classes as I could to benefit from that wonderful option they had. Then after that, I took the MCAT as well. So a lot of you don't know this about me, but I actually was on the path to go to medical school.
We were on the same path, y'all.
We were on the same track, the same
Struggling,
path.
sad, tears.
So I too took the MCAT, but I took the MCAT twice. Applied to medical school. I think I only applied one time. I don't know if I applied once or twice, but did not get in. And then after that, I took additional prereqs because at this point I said I'm going somewhere. So I took additional prereqs all over Georgia. I don't know how many schools I went to, but other colleges, Georgia State, Georgia Gwinnett, I don't even know. Did that, eventually ended up applying to Emory's program, did the accelerated BSN program, which was a year, and then I did the accelerated MSN program, which was also a year. So all in all was a dual accelerated program, so 2 degrees, 2 years.
And on our own, COVID time, no network, like, I cannot imagine, like, we also transitioned, like, in medical school during the COVID period, but at least was already, like, with my classmates, met them, already established those relationships for help further on. Yeah. She started with no new friends, no friends at all, no nothing, because they were starting. That was a crazy time to even like just to be on that grind by yourself and no like upperclassmen to help or something with that transition. So I commend you, Dr. And she did it accelerated too. Give her props. Give her props in the comments down below.
Look, I had to get out of there. Okay, it was time to go. Okay. So period. So we can move on to question 2.
Okay.
So question 2 is, why did you choose to become an MD or NP? I guess I can start this time. So really, truly, the NP life chose me. That's just me being honest. That's me being very transparent because like I said from the previous question, I was on the MD track. And so once I applied to medical school, was not successful with that. That's why I started taking more prereqs because I said I knew somehow, some way I was going to end up in the medical profession. So I was like, I'm going to take every prereq ever known to man. And that's pretty much what I did. Now, do I, recommend that for other people? But I would say if you have the means to do so and you're kind of unsure about your options, but know that you want to, get into somebody's medical type program, then yeah, take prereqs, apply all over the place. I didn't necessarily apply all over the place. I actually was taking a prereq at Georgia State, which is now Georgia Perimeter, because this was one of the perimeter locations. And another student there who was also interested in going to medical school told me like, yeah, you should just apply. And then someone else from Agnes Scott, Reem also was like, shout out to Reem. Reem also encouraged me. She was like, Nani, just apply to Emory's program. Just apply. I applied one time. Got in, child. I waived everything. Let me be very transparent. I waived everything. I didn't take a GRE. I don't even know if I submit a personal statement. When I say I literally submitted my resume, I submitted the 1,000 science classes I took and got in. And Emory is very close to where I live. And then because we went to Agnes Scott, we're familiar with Emory. Wonderful institution. So I said, a win is a win. And that's pretty much my story about how I, chose the NP life. I was just very open to all my options. And then God just blessed me with a gift. Amen. And I took it.
Amen. No, sometimes it just falls in your lap just like that. Like where you're supposed to go, it just becomes clear.
And end up.
Yeah. I too, it was just definitely a bumpy path. Becoming an MD and what I was choosing. So like we said before again, both on the pre-health track at Agnes, very tough program. Very tough program. The weed out was strong. We still all made it through the weed out though. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say this before, but I was a major in biochemistry and molecular biology. Minor in art, because the art part, that's the balance in me that I needed.
She is so creative, yeah.
I love the art stuff, but still did the science because I'm like, I already took all these courses, might as well be a science major. That's literally how I picked my major. So then I wanted to take the MCAT again, I think before junior year, but I had to retake organic chemistry. You know the pain I went through. You know the pain what I went through. So then it kind of pushed me, everything with medical school, which sucks. Everything always takes a year. You have to wait the next cycle, whether it's residency, whether it's medical school, whether it's whatever, it always takes a year. So our time is just dwindling by year by year by year. So so I was like, let me just do the MS program. And they had kind of a backdoor situation. You have a certain GPA, you get to interview and apply for their medical school. So I was gonna go the DO route and give myself that path. Went through that whole cycle of that whole situation. I'm not gonna spill the tea over there, but just know that your girl did not go through that path. Okay?
I forgot all about the deal.
It was
wow.
It was a lot. Like, I feel like in medical school though, like what we learned in the program definitely helped. Like, it helped me be successful in medical school, so I have no regrets there because it did help me along the way. But it was tough. It was definitely a very tough program. And when I put all my eggs in that basket when applying to medical school, like the second time around, because I think I applied 2 cycles in 2017 and then in 2018. So it's 2018 where I just gave myself, you know, I'm also gonna apply to the Caribbean, give myself those chances, ended up getting a scholarship for SGU. I said, you know what, the coins, I'm going where the money resides. I'm gonna go where they're giving me an actual chance, and I'll just start fresh there. So that's basically why I chose it, because at first I was like, I wanted to be in the States or bust, but then I didn't get the acceptance, and they're like, oh, you apply next year and do this whole thing. I'm like, I don't have time to be wasted year after year after year. Like, and that time I was 25, I was having a quarter life crisis. I was like, I didn't know my life would be like this. I thought that, like, I had a whole breakdown in the kitchen. My mom will tell you, like, I had a whole proper breakdown thinking I was old at 25. I'm now 30 years old.
Girl, we all have breakdowns. So many of
that.
that.
A whole quarter life crisis. But I was like, Mom's like, how many people do you know, how many people do you know are doctors? I'm like, a lot. And she's like, how many of them had American training? I was just like, none of them. And they all literally came and did residency in the States and are practicing here happily ever after. A lot of the international medical schools don't get the credit they deserve because they are pumping students in. Like, SGU makes the most residents in the US, period.
And SGU is very well known. Like SGU, Ross, very well known.
Yes, I think also American as well. Like those, there's like the big 4. And they just start. Just get in there, get your degree, and go. You know what I'm saying? So that's that kind of spiel. I kind of went over the question, but
it's okay.
Yeah.
They got everything they need to
hear. That's the tea. That's the tea.
Okay, question 3. What's the difference between an MD and NP job role? So I put down, like, main difference is just like making sure you know the laws and stuff within each state, because that's very specific, I feel like, for NPs. Of course, NPs, we see our patients, we diagnose our patients, come up with their treatment plans, like all the same stuff that MDs do.
Literally.
But, the difference is, like, the main difference that I know is, like, prescribing medicines in different states, things vary. Some NPs in different states are opening up their own clinics. Like, everything just really, really depends. And then, of course, I feel like, unfortunately, like in the South, we're a little more restricted, which sucks. But so certain controlled substances, I know I cannot prescribe, and just certain things. I think the nurse practitioners that I've seen or heard about that are opening up their own clinics, that's more like up north. But just, knowing those things that you can and cannot do, I feel like those are the main differences. But as far as, like, seeing patients, treating patients, prescribing meds, the same, if you ask me.
I agree. I agree with that statement. I think it's really just the independence.
Yeah.
The doctor has independence, and that we don't have the state-to-state regulations.
Right.
You can practice anywhere. As long as you're board certified, you move forward. But literally, everybody works the team, you know? Every time I would go in, when I was in clinicals, it's just like, I'm going to do exactly what the nurse just did, and just when we go after the nurse and literally do the same thing. And then after I would go in, our attending would go in and do the same thing. Like, it's just many people doing the same work kind of over and over again, and making sure all bases are covered. At the end of the day, the attending or the doctor in charge just signs everything off and you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
But the work is
pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I feel like depending upon who you're working for and things like that, like, of course, NPs, depending upon, once again, I feel like who you work for, Some providers may want you to check in a little bit more with them as an NP in regards to, like, the MT just completely working independently. So meaning, like, they may want to review over your charts, they may want, I don't know.
It really depends on the person. Person. Also depends on specialty. Like, there's, and then just human beings. Like, some people just move differently. Some people are more controlling others. Some people are more lax. Like, just do, everything. I'll just sign it. Like, they'll literally sign like this.
Right.
Because they trust you completely. So,
right.
It just depends on the person, day to day, where you're at, practice versus hospital.
Exactly.
All those things.
The environment as a whole.
Facts.
Beautiful. Ooh, this is a spicy question. I been preparing for this one. No, so this question is, do you have any regrets regarding your medical journey from undergrad to now? Shania?
So for me, like in general, when it comes to regrets, I don't have regrets because I'm just like, God wanted me to go through, like as a spiritual person, God just wanted me to go through these things on purpose, and the path I went through was where I was supposed to go through.
Right.
Period.
It's a lesson somewhere.
Literally, there's a lesson somewhere. So I'm like, okay, grateful for that. But if I were to tell a young Chinea something else, this is what it would be. Okay. Like I wish that if I knew I was still gonna go to the school that I went to, which is SGU, I just wish I just went straight from college. Like there was no need to do the little, masters in between. I already know what I want to do. I do know I want to be a doctor. Let's just get the ball rolling, regardless of our states or Caribbean. Apply, take the MCAT, properly, the 1 or 2 times, and then just apply, put myself out there. Period. That's what I would have done for myself. And then 2, when applying to colleges. College.
Let the people know.
Our alma mater rings. Us about to also
tear it up. No, just playing.
No, but
we're just being honest.
Yeah, for real. If you know for a fact you want to do medicine, do a program that is tied to a medical school. Like I know people who didn't get any interviews besides like the school that they went to. Like Emory undergrad has a medical school. I know, like for example, University of Kentucky, they have also a medical school. So wherever has like a tie to a medical school, and I know now there's even new programs where you do X amount of courses and you matriculate into the program.
Yeah, like the joint.
Yeah, like that wasn't available during our time. Like
right.
this is completely like it's a whole new thing. But do one of those programs if you already know you want to go straight in, or any undergrad that's tied to an actual medical school. That's the best thing you can do, because at least your own will look out for you to some degree. And yeah, that's my main 2.
Yeah, period. I agree with everything that she said. I too feel like the same. Like I'm really big on like #no regrets, and I truly feel like my whole life I've lived up to that though, which is great.
Literally,
I really have. Of course, like there are bumps in the road and stuff like that, things that's just like, oh, you wish you knew, or
Yeah.
But I feel like my main thing I would also emphasize is just the college and institution that you choose to go to, because it's very, very important. You have to have a level of support. You have to, because some of these schools, honey, they be trying to trick you.
Right.
Make sure that you do your research. Don't just let anybody tell you X, Y, and Z. Like, yeah, we're going to help you get to medical school. We're going to help you become a nurse practitioner. Where's the proof? Like, I'm so serious. Like, you need to see statistics. These schools need to be, like, you need to be seeing articles. They need to be in the news about how many students they're sending off to medical school, how many students of theirs are successful.
And what do those students look like?
Exactly. On top of all of that, too. Because it is very rough out here, and I think it is rough, especially for people of color, women of color that are interested in the sciences. And so you have to make sure that you're going to a school that will fully support you, that will fully have your back, even post-graduation, because they're supposed to, even after graduating, when you're calling them needing recommendation letters, needing to get things together, those pre-health advisors should be helping you. And if they are not going to be doing that, we don't need to be there. But like I said, before we even sign and say we're going to the school, we're going to do our research and just be sure that this school will help us to get to where we need to be. Because,
yes, and even in doing the research in terms of like support, a lot of what I keep seeing, like the story being like, advisors told me I couldn't do it. The advisors told me it was impossible.
Yes.
It's always possible.
Yes.
The only way you're not going to get there is if you literally give up.
Yes.
So regardless of what people are saying, you know what you can do with your, you know the predicament, there's always a plan A through Z. So don't let anybody, because we've seen people who are very capable.
We've seen people, firsthand.
No, and
you'll never be a doctor. You need to choose another major. You need to choose another occupation because you won't be that.
Right. people tell you those things up to medical school. And you're trying to, like, mind you, you're trying to get your degree, etc. You're trying to make it through, and people are being told, oh, have you tried PA school? Have you tried others? Aren't you supposed to be supporting me to get the MD that I want? Not to say that, PA school and stuff is not, but they will literally just throw other things into, like,
and a lot of people are salty too. Let's also emphasize that, because we've had a lot of science professors, and I'm not gonna drop no names, but just know we've had a lot of science professors that went out there and got their doctorates in X, Y, and Z because that ended up being their plan B. Their plan A was to go to medical school. Their plan A was to be a provider. But they were unable to do it. Exactly. They weren't able to do it. So those same people are out there trying to deter people from obtaining their goals and getting to where they want to be, which is very, very sad. But just know that there are crazy, sick people like that out there. But, just be mentally prepared. And I feel like knowing all these things and knowing your research support system, everything is needed.
Correct.
Period. Let's see. Next question. What do you think is the best part about being an MD or NP? Me? Okay, great. I put the best part that I think about being an NP is just the flexibility. And like even going through nursing school and NP school, like you always hear the saying, like you'll always be a nurse first. I don't know why I'm doing this, because you will be. Like, you'll always be a nurse first. And I feel like that is very reassuring, especially for somebody like me, because, like, I feel like I'm good with making hard decisions, but sometimes I'm still very indecisive. And so it's just knowing that I have options. Does that make sense? Like, you'll see, even on YouTube, I've seen a few nurse practitioners that have gone back to bedside. Like, it's just the fact that you have the options to sort of move around, you know what I mean? And if you're interested, even though I specialize in pediatrics, but you can always go back to school. You can always get another certification. You can always have more than one certification. You know what I mean? Like, so I just feel like it's a lot of options. It's a lot of flexibility with nursing, and that's probably my favorite part about it.
My favorite part about being an MD would have to be like just making sure, like just being in this like leadership position to be a voice for other people, being a voice especially for those that look like us. Like I would go into a patient room, and mind you, like, because I'm still applying into residency, so mind you, even as a medical student, the patient will look at me like whether it's a Black woman, Hispanic, any person of color will look at me just for reassurance when they're seeing the doctor. They would see the doctor, but look at me like, do you see me like kind of in an unspoken situation? So just being able to be present, be able to speak up when I need to, especially if somebody's trying to be overlooked, or because I've seen doctors say some crazy things or try to dismiss patients, etc. But to be in that leadership role where I could be that difference, I could be that doctor for somebody, or somebody can look up, I need, looking for a Black doctor in the Atlanta area, boom, my face is gonna pop up, that kind of thing. So I'm just glad I'm able to be that for somebody, because it does make a big difference. And we've all also been patients before, and the difference that it also makes for yourself. So that's my big thing. I'm just glad I'm one of the numbers for us.
Because we're definitely needed.
Yes.
More than needed. Okay. Okay, let's see. Next question. What is a downside of being an MD or NP?
Ciao. Ooh, for me, child. Should I just...
Tell the people what they want to hear.
The delayed gratification. Like, we are always saying the delayed gratification.
Oh, my heart.
But the emphasis on the delay? Oh my God.
You are very delayed.
Years and years and years
of hard work.
And years and years
of hard
and
work.
Years.
Sweat,
it's
tears.
Kind of crazy.
Extra sweat. And
then you're paying for said years and years, and like you're paying for the abuse.
Yikes. Not paying for it, child. Woo.
So yeah, the loans are thick. There is no reason, especially you're going into, like we were talking about, like if you're going in to help people, like at the end of the day, why am I getting charged so much to do that?
We just want to save lives. I don't understand. Like,
why are you making it so hard? Because the loans does not make any kind of sense. Zero, zilch, nada. So yeah, it's the years of going into this, delayed gratification, and then the coins to do so. And the coins, like, it starts, the loans is one thing also, but even making it, haves and have-nots from the beginning, from college, from high school. Who has the resources, who has the tutors, who has the stuff to even get through everything. So it starts from coins and it ends with coins, which is crazy.
Questions that need answers. Yeah.
So that's me, y'all.
I agree with everything that she said, per usual. But I also put just in specifically for nurse practitioners. I guess like one downfall is just like, of course, people that, how do I put this politely? People that are just not that educated or familiar with nurse practitioners and the nurse practitioner role may think that you're either less than capable of being a provider. You know, you could walk into a room and they'd be like, oh, well, I still want to see the doctor. You know what I mean? So I feel like just that can be very sad and annoying. It's never happened to me, but I'm just saying, like, I know that is happening to some people, to nurse practitioners. And obviously, we work just as hard. We're just as capable of seeing patients, X, Y, Z, and the third. So, of course, I think, you know, for people to think that you are either less than or less capable would be a downside of the nurse practitioner role title.
Honestly, if we just go into it as teamwork, like the doctor can help, you know, stop that stigma, saying like you're in good hands, like this person has been like just reassuring the patient that, trust me, the whole team is here for you. Like, you wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be getting better if it wasn't for nurse right here.
Right, the whole team.
Because I definitely see that too.
Yeah,
I definitely see that.
Period. Let's see. Our next question is, what does a day look like for you as an MD or NP? I guess I can go first.
Yeah.
So for me, as you guys know, I already started working my first nurse practitioner job. And I think I only filmed one video. I gotta get my vlogs up with the nurse practitioner, like, content. But anywho, I literally wake up at 5 a.m. I wake up like 5:15 on the dot. And, you know, simple stuff, you know, we get ready, brush our teeth, you know, get dressed. I try to eat something, coffee always. And then I have a little commute to my job. So I get to my job and I pretty much probably chill for like 10 minutes. And then other than that, we get to work. I am on my computer. I'm looking at our patients for the day, seeing who's checked in, seeing who's ready. And then I'm off, you know. I'm going to see my patients, seeing them, diagnosing them, giving them referrals, giving them meds, whatever that needs to be done. And then usually my job, we usually start seeing patients around 7:30 to give you guys a time frame. It's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be usually done around like 4:30, which is supposed to be like the benefit of starting early. But truthfully, this is a 7 to 5. Like, by the time I am done, like, seeing all the patients plus charting, is really the charting. Plus charting, it's probably 5 o'clock. And then once again, I'm commuting. We live in Atlanta. So by the time I get home, it's probably like 6 o'clock. And at that point, it's literally time for me to, you know, shower, eat dinner, maybe watch a tune or two TV show, you know, like, and then repeat, like, go to sleep. And I try to go to bed probably like around 9:30 though. Emphasis on try, because some nights it's hard for me to go to sleep than others. But my day is very, you know, very basic. Every now and then, if I do happen to get off earlier, like 4:30, then those will be the days that I try to either go to the gym or something. So I'll do that right before going home and showering and eating dinner and all that stuff. But that's my typical day.
Well, my typical day still involves studying because I'm still trying to get into residency. And in terms of residency, I've heard the horror stories and I'm kind of scared, but it really just depends also on the specialty, because you could have clinics and be in like the same kind of 9 to 5. You could be in OB, have your 24-hour shift. You could be in emergency, you have your 12-hour shifts. Like, it just really depends on the specialty that you choose. Surgery, you're literally leaving the house at 3 a.m. for your 4 a.m. You have to be there, beat the doctor, etc., especially as a resident. In terms of clinicals, like my day-to-day, well, I did clinicals in London. So I was I lived there for basically 2 years.
She's so fancy.
And I did my clinicals there. I was at the hospitals there, and we're run by the NHS, which is the National Health Service. So we see a lot of patients. The demographic is different because, you know, they have the World Healthcare. But my day, which is like was similar to like a junior doctor or a resident, would be basically like, there's also like a 9 to 5 even in the hospital setting. So child, they're not waking up too early unless you're emergency. Pretty much a 9 to 5. So our day would start with rounding with patients. So I would take the bus. So I would wake up early for that. Maybe leave
not
like,
the magic school
literally
bus.
the red double decker buses. They were fun the first day, and that was it.
One day only.
Regular public transport, you know.
Yeah.
But it took me like half an hour to get to work, and then you go meet at the doctor's office, and then from there we break up into teams to do the actual rounds per whatever specialty you were rotating in. So usually, if you're a surgery, rounds start at 8 a.m. Every other specialty start at 9 a.m. We round with the patients, and then afterwards, it's basically just charting, and more charting, making sure the blood work is together, and just getting all the labs that we need and following up with the patient. You have a lunch break, and then usually after they usually have clinics, so you can tag along with attending and do the clinic work. So depending on the day, it will tell you what clinic is happening. And then usually clinic is like from 2 to 5. If you have a morning clinic, it's from 9 to 12. So it's kind of more lax, I would definitely say, in the UK. Here, it's not gonna be the same, so I'm not ready.
It's not lax over here.
So, but we have to circle back once I'm in residency and do an update video for you guys or see something like that.
Yeah.
But that's my personal MD experience so far in terms of my day.
Child, I don't even talk about lunch. I take a lunch break sometimes too. No, I'm just playing. I take a lunch break, but truly, like, and I have to film a different video about all of this, but especially I feel like for pediatrics, family, you're seeing a lot of patients. Primary care, you're seeing a lot of patients, like 20 patients, 25 patients a day. So even I'm supposed to have an hour lunch, but truly, like, if I get a solid 30, that's what I get. So that's definitely a lot in that aspect as well. It's a crammed up day. That's why I forgot about lunch.
And the thing is that the lunch isn't even just about eating food. Like, lunch is really just like I need to be in my little corner decompressing. Yes. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. Like, that's why I close my office door every time. Yeah. Because I don't want to even see anybody breathe past my office. Like, I just need, that's your recoup time. Right. Yeah. Literally.